In the creative framework of documentary television programs, the concept of childhood has always transcended its biological definition and presented complex semiotic features. When the camera continues to record children's lives, we are actually confronted with a dialectical relationship of double mirroring. The camera is not only capturing the subject's state of being, but also unconsciously reflecting the filmmaker's cultural preconceptions and value judgments. This video will take 3 television programs on childhood as its starting point. Child Genius, a global children's quiz format. 7 Up, a landmark documentary series tracking the development of a group of characters from widely divergent socio-economic backgrounds across a half-century and born into brothels. Exploring the destiny of children born in the slums, together with the BBC's Child of Our Time, we will ask, how is childhood presented? How does localized culture influence the definition of childhood? Or do public and media representations of childhood share universal characteristics? In 1964, Michael Apted launched the 7 Up series, applying Aristotle's fatalistic proposition, "Give me a child until he is 7, and I will show you the man." This reinforces a profound belief in the idea that childhood determines one's destiny and reveals a lack of class mobility in British society in the second half of the 20th century. At the beginning of the 21st century, the BBC's Child of Our Time represented a shift towards the experimental era, exploring how childhood is influenced by family, genes, and culture through interdisciplinary research in social science, psychology, and brain science. While 7 Up emphasizes the social structures that govern childhood, Child of Our Time reflects the growing importance of individual differences in the digital age.
You can't really think about what they really look like.
And probably when I was 7, I just lived in a wonderful world where everything was sensation and I could be happy like this, I could be miserable next minute.
Since 2013, the documentary competition program Child Genius has been present in several countries and has become synonymous with the term gifted childhood. It's the same format, but the faces of childhood are very different in each country's version. In the UK Channel 4 version, children are often portrayed as eccentric geniuses, socially awkward but academically brilliant. The show's narrative is full of critical humor and class metaphors. The US Lifetime version reinforces the family plot, with the parents becoming stage parents, and the program focuses on the conflict between family pressures and personal ambitions. The Australian SBS version is more moderate, emphasizing children's mental health and emotional support, and is more social than competitive. The same globalized format, but mutated in cultural soil. These differences reveal not only different national understandings of childhood giftedness, but also divergent cultural values about education, family roles, and definitions of success. Should children be on television? What are the duty of care considerations? Children's innocence and vulnerability make them easier to storytell and commodify on camera. But the question is, who is responsible for these stories? In Child Genius, there is no shortage of footage of children in tears, breaking down and running away from the stage in front of the camera. Is the program reinforcing the social logic of winner takes all? Is the role of parents in the program that of supporters or agents? When the camera becomes a pressure amplifier, the program has crossed the line of research ethics. Does the consent form signed by parents constitute an institutionalized violation of children's rights? This requires a re-examination of the definition of the right to entertainment in Article 31 of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. And in the documentary Born into Brothels, the director's relationship with the child is even more complex. Zana Brisky's teaching of photography creates a rare model of two-way empowerment. Photography becomes an instrument of change for the child and possibly a new power of the gaze. Should the media's ethics of responsibility when dealing with children go beyond simply creating content that feels real or emotionally touching? In some cases, might true responsibility mean choosing not to film at all and instead offering direct support or intervention? Why are childhood documentary programs so popular? What do viewers get out of them? Some say it is to see hope. Others say it is to project anxiety. There is a double projection of childhood documentary programs: the relief of educational anxiety through child genius, alternative achievement, and the moral superiority of Born into Brussels, sympathetic consumption. This politics of viewing is essentially a bourgeois ritual of self-redemption. In Child Genius, we see parents' anxieties projected onto their children. In 7 Up, we see the stifling impact of social class and its shaping of personality.
But you've kicked against the stability that's
I don't think I ever had any stability, to be quite honest. I can't think of any time in my life when I ever did. I don't think I've been kicking against anything. I think I've been kicking in mid-air the whole of my life.
And in Born into Brothels, the moral dilemmas crystallize into the tension between ethical representation and voyeuristic exploitation. Does documenting marginalized childhoods through an artistic lens amplify their agency or reduce them to objects of pity? Can the camera's intervention, even with emancipatory intent, escape replicating the very power dynamics it critiques? The film forces viewers to confront whether their empathy translates to actionable justice or merely absolves collective guilt through aestheticized suffering. Childhood is both a narrative starting point and a metaphor for social critique. When we look at childhood, we are also looking at how society treats the future. If you put childhood under a microscope, different lenses record different ingrained belief systems. The children of child genius, intellectually brilliant, are burdened with heavy expectations. The children of 7 Up are circumscribed by their socio-economic contexts from the age of 7.
Things that were funny, sounds that things made. I had, if you like, idiosyncratic views about things that other people hadn't even thought about.
And the children of Born into Brothels, who live in the crevices of societies, are the most marginalized.
ভবিষ্যৎ নিশ্চয়ই 1 নম্বর হচ্ছে পূজাকে এখান থেকে সরিয়ে নেওয়া, কারণ পূজা অত বাচ্চা মেয়ে, ও একটু বড় হলে ওরকম বাজে পাড়ায় নেমে যাবে, দিয়ে মানুষের টাকা কেড়ে নেবে, ওইটা ওদিক ওদিক খাবে, এর জন্য ইচ্ছা আমার।
Childhood on television is about more than talent, more than suffering, more than growing up. Children should not just be fodder for the camera, but also the subject of social care. In the context of globalization, what we need is not only childhood stories, but also respect for childhood. Does a truly responsible presentation of childhood mean less intervention, less packaging, and even more silence?